up this morning and things were starting to feel a little bit more autumnal, so I thought it was about time to start putting some autumn content together. Here are 5 awesome autumn fragrances I discovered at Esxence. Stay tuned to FM. I've got lots of happy memories of this time of year. I love it when autumn is just starting. The air is just slightly cooler, but we're still getting some nice warm sunshine, just like on a day like today. And days like this remind me of when I used to study in the States. So I studied in Keene in New Hampshire, where they filmed Jumanji actually. And I was there during the fall, and we used to get days like this quite often. And I would take my roommate's bike, and with his permission of course, and I would just go out and cycle through the hills and the mountains in the surrounding area with some friends. On the way back we'd stop by Dunkin' Donuts, we'd have a cream cheese bagel and a cup of coffee. So no bagel or donuts today, but I've got the coffee here. And the temperature was much like this, the smell of the leaves just starting to turn, so really happy memories of that. Now, earlier this year I was at Esxence, which is a big fragrance fair in Milan. Loads of indie and niche brands there. So I discovered some houses there that I hadn't heard of before, and here I've got 5 fragrances that I came back from Milan with. So some of them you may know, some of them you may not have heard. So I just want to talk to you about these 5 fragrances which I think are perfect for this time of year. Let's get into it. The first house I'm going to talk to you about is technically a house that I didn't discover for the first time in Milan, but I was very happy to see them there. I really enjoyed one of their fragrances which I actually came away from Milan with. So this is one of my favourite gourmand fragrances. It's House of Sillage No. 1. This is a warm and spicy vanilla fragrance. There's some cinnamon, there's some tonka beans. And it reminds me of walking into like a patisserie or a bakery and smelling the pastries, smelling the sweetness, smelling the sweet desserts. So it really has that vibe to it. It's also got some oud in there as well. So the slight punchiness of the oud, which is interestingly in the top notes of this. You don't often see oud in top notes in my experience, but the oud here just seems to balance out that sweetness perfectly. So it's a lovely gourmand sweet fragrance with a nice little bit of punch and attitude in there as well. Performance of this is fantastic. As you would imagine, Sillage is great from a house of this name. Quite difficult to find in the UK. If you manage to see this one, maybe check on eBay or see if you can ship it internationally. But if you do find this and the notes sound like ones that you enjoy, I would say snap it up if you can. The next one is from the house of Franck Boclet. I'm a big tobacco lover. One of my favourite notes. Tobacco is a note that works really well in the autumn, so I always look forward to autumn coming round. This scent is called Tobacco, so you can see why I was drawn to this one. This is beautiful juice. I mean, just look at the colour of that. Very similar in DNA to Tom Ford's Tobacco Vanille and Faden's Tabac Rouge. Has that tobacco and sweetness mixed together with some light spices. So cinnamon, although cinnamon's not a listed note in this one, but I get a big dose of cinnamon. So very similar to those 2 fragrances. I would say this dries down a little woodier. Which is great actually, which I think that's something about this that I prefer to Tobacco Vanille, which remains, I wouldn't say light, but it remains very sweet throughout its life, whereas the woodiness just seems to balance out that sweetness in the dry down of this one. This has an added note of plum in this, so with this you're getting vanilla, spices with that cinnamon, and you're getting the tobacco and this lovely dark fruitiness that the plum note seems to provide. So really beautiful juice. I don't own a bottle of Tobacco Vanille, so pleased to have this one. Price of this is pretty good actually. This is one of the best priced scents, and out of all these scents, this is the one that I think in the UK you can find the easiest. So it seems to be available on Amazon. If you look on eBay, I think you'll find some deals. It's available on Latino, and you're looking at around £100 for 100 ml. So compared to Tobacco Vanille, this one's quite favourably priced and a really nice scent. So definitely recommend Tobacco. The next scent I'm going to talk about is from Manos Gerakinis. Manos is from Greece. I think he was the only person to attend from Greece at Esxence this year. Probably the most charismatic brand owner I met in Milan. So passionate, loads of energy, loves the fact that he's got this brand out there. He's very proud of his product. He actually started this brand by creating a scent for himself. He couldn't quite find one on the market that was just perfect for him, so he just made his own. And that's the scent I'm going to talk about today. It's called Sillage Royale. This one has a little bit of smoke in there. It's got some cardamom, some rose, some saffron, and tasty little dose of oud in there as well. It's not an oudy fragrance, but the oud just balances things out nicely and just gives it this little kind of bit of attitude, a little bit of bite to it. So this one is a really refined and elegantly composed scent. It's a unisex scent, but I feel it's got almost this, when I wear it anyway, this classic kind of masculine feel. When I wear this, I feel like I'm on top of my game. I feel like I'm winning at life, just like Manos is. This is not a beast mode scent. It's not an obnoxious scent. It's not going to choke anyone out. This is a relatively close in scent that if you want to smell like you have some refinement and elegance, then this is definitely one to check out. I'll leave the link to Manos's website down below, so go along there. I think you can probably get samples as well. Check out the others he has to offer, because I smelt the line and I was really impressed. So I feel like Manos's fragrances are composed with a lovely lightness of touch. So if all those things sound like something you're interested in, then definitely check these out. The next brand is called Choix or Choix. I'm not quite sure. I think it's an Italian brand. Had a good chat with them, and they had a beautiful presentation at Milan, and that ties in with the presentation of their fragrances. The bottles look immense. The one I'm talking about is called Une Nuit, and here is the bottle. Gorgeous cap, beautiful bottle design, nice classy little touch. These are metallic, the gold dangly bits off here, and it might look a little kind of cheap and gaudy on camera, but just looking at it here and holding it in my hand, it doesn't feel that way at all. It feels quite classy and quite luxury. Okay, so if I'm going to describe this scent to you, I am going to say Baccarat Rouge 540. It's the same DNA, and when I wear this, honestly, I can't tell that much of a difference. I can't really tell any difference between this and Baccarat Rouge 540. So if you don't know that scent, you spray it on, you've got this kind of fresh candy accord, and then it's got like quite a thick base. It's got some resins, got some amberwood resin in the base and some fir resin. So it's got a little bit of punch to it, a little bit of attitude. This is a scent that is very popular. Baccarat Rouge 540 is one of the most popular scents out there, and rightly so. The DNA of it is absolutely beautiful, and this is their interpretation of that. I don't know if the intention is for it to be any different than Baccarat Rouge 540, but to me, it's pretty much the same. I don't own Baccarat Rouge 540, so I'm pretty pleased to have this one. I find that with this DNA, it layers really well. I think it works really well on its own, but it layers well with other fragrances. I accidentally layered this with Aventus, and I just feel like it's there's room in the composition of this one for other notes to join it. So I think it does work really well, and I think it is a popular one to combine with other fragrances. I've seen that a lot of people are doing that, and some fragrance brands are even releasing hybrids of other fragrances combined with this one. So really, really pleased to have this one. Again, probably a little bit difficult to find in the UK, and this isn't going to be the cheapest fragrance. I think this one is around 350 euros for 100 ml. So I think it's maybe similar pricing to Baccarat Rouge 540. At the end of the day, I think what it's going to come down to is which brand design and presentation are you going to buy into. I love them both equally. I love the Francis Kurkdjian designs. I love this design. Happy to have this because I don't have Baccarat Rouge 540. I think if you were deciding on which version of this DNA to buy, you'd have to literally just compare the bottles and pick the one you like the best. I think it's as simple as that. It's going to come down to that. But this is a beautiful scent. The last brand I'm going to talk about is called Kajal. You may have heard of these, but I hadn't experienced anything from this brand before Esxence. I tried the whole line, and this scent was the one that resonated with me the most. Can't really explain why. I just vibed with it. I just really liked it. Just ticked a lot of boxes that I look for with a scent. So it's called Dahab. This is just wow. This scent blows me away. Absolutely beautiful. I'll talk a little bit about the notes, but it's such a smooth blend that the notes don't really stick out too prominently. It's just one lovely smooth blend, but it's got some fruitiness. So there's some bergamot in here and some green apple and some passion fruit as well, and then there's musks and amber in the base. You can see from the colour of this juice, it's got this lovely kind of rich ambery colour. If there was one note that was the most prominent in this, I'd say it's the passion fruit. Now it doesn't overwhelm the fragrance, you can tell it's there, but out of all those notes I feel like it's the passion fruit that sticks out. But it's got this kind of thickness to it as well, so it's not just an out and out fruity fragrance, it's just a beautiful blend. It just works really well. It feels thick and robust, it's warming in nature. It's classy, it's addictive, it's crowd pleasing, it's got fantastic performance, it's got amazing presentation. All the boxes ticked. If you've not tried this brand, if you've not tried this scent, then if you can find some samples, then definitely check them out, because this is a beauty and I'm really looking forward to wearing this plenty through the coming autumn. So there you go, there are 5 of my favourite autumnal fragrances I came across whilst I was at Esxence. I hope that maybe you've discovered something, maybe you've not heard of all of these houses, and that you can try and check them out if possible. If you can find some samples, then do give them a go. It's been great to enjoy this lovely weather and come outside and film in this beautiful location, aka my back garden. But nevertheless, at this time of year, when I'm talking about autumn, which is a time of year I love to be outdoors, it's just nice to be outside. So welcome to my home. I hope you enjoyed it, I hope you found it useful. Thank you very much for watching, and remember, keep tuning into FM and keep smelling good.